Forming the Tata Group into a global powerhouse, he was more than just a business magnate.
I dedicate my last years to help make Assam a state that recognizes and is recognized by all.
He was a philosopher at heart, often sharing profound insights on life. Ratan Tata's passing away is truly an end of an era.
The demise of Ratan Tata not only left a huge loss for the Indian industry, but also came as a crushing loss for his closest aide and friend in the last years, Shantanu Naidu. Taking to LinkedIn profile, Naidu posted a moving message saying he would spend the rest of his life trying to fill in the hole in the friendship that the passing of the visionary tycoon and philanthropist has left him with. Watch this report.
As a sea of mourners, from political heavyweights, the who's and who of the Indian industry, to the man on the street who was touched by Ratan Tata's benevolence and philanthropic bone, mourned his demise, his friend too shared his personal loss. Amid the emotionally charged ambience at Mumbai's NCPA grounds, as thousands paid their respects to the visionary tycoon, Tata's closest aide in his last years put out a moving post. Taking to his LinkedIn page, Tata's closest friend Shantanu Naidu posted an emotional farewell to Ratan Tata. Shantanu posted that the demise of India's titan has left him with a hole in his friendship. Sharing his anguish, Shantanu wrote that the grief is the price that he would have to pay for love. He posted further that he would spend the rest of his life trying to fill the void left by the passing of his mentor and friend. Meanwhile, the mortal remains of the departed tycoon were brought to the Worli crematorium for the last rites. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Maharashtra's Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and his Gujarat counterpart Bhupendra Patel were seen arriving at the venue for the cremation rituals. As the curtain falls on one of India's greatest lives ever lived, the country may have lost its Taj for good.
The story of one of India's most revered figures, Ratan Tata, is inspiring. A name which is often associated with business success is also synonymous with humility and compassion. As the former chairman of Tata Sons, Ratan Tata led the company to global heights. However, it's his commitment that makes to philanthropy and nation building that left an indelible mark on millions of lives. Here's more on the man with no haters, a champion of philanthropy.
Born into the illustrious Tata family in 1937, Ratan Tata grew up with privilege, but his heart was always grounded in compassion. A champion in philanthropy, Ratan Tata ensured that the Tata Group's legacy wasn't just about profits but was about giving back to the society. Through the Tata Trusts, he championed healthcare, rural development, and child welfare, touching millions of lives across India. Under Ratan Tata's leadership, the Tata companies were contributing a significant portion of their profits to charitable causes. He built cancer hospitals, provided scholarships for higher education, and worked to bring relief during times of disaster. He never sought recognition, yet his efforts earned him global respect. Ratan Tata is remembered as one of the largest philanthropists in the world, having donated over 60% of his wealth to charity. Even after his retirement in 2012, Ratan Tata served the society. He was more than just a chairman. He was a mentor to the next generation of entrepreneurs, investing in over 30 startups spanning sectors like healthcare, technology, and innovation. His story continues to inspire young minds, encourages them to prioritize the greater good. For his exceptional contributions to society, Ratan Tata was honored with Padma Bhushan in 2000 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2008. In 2021, he received Assam's highest civilian honor, the Assam Bhaibhav, for advancing cancer care in the region. It is a testament to integrity, humility, and service. A man with no haters, his story continues to inspire millions with his vision, compassion, and unwavering commitment to India even after his passing. His legacy is not just in the buildings he's helped raise or the companies he's built, but in the lives he's changed. And that's the legacy of Ratan Tata, the man whose heart was as big as his empire. His dedication to service and nation building has inspired generations to come.
In the heart of India's bustling corporate landscape, one name resonated with visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to social responsibility. Ratan Tata, the 86-year-old former chairman of Tata Sons, who remained an influential figure, passed away yesterday at the age of 86. Here's all you need to know about the legacy.
Tata Group's chairman emeritus and veteran industrialist Ratan Tata passed away at a city hospital late on Wednesday evening. Ratan Tata, who led the salt to software conglomerate to new heights, was 86. A recipient of Padma Vibhushan, he breathed his last at South Bombay's Breach Candy Hospital at 11:30 p.m. Ratan Tata led the Tata Group from March 1991 to December 2012 as chairman of Tata Sons, the holding company of the conglomerate. He was one of the world's most influential industrialists, yet he never appeared on any list of billionaires. He controlled over 30 companies that operated in over 100 countries across 6 continents, yet lived an unpretentious life. He initially worked on the shop floor, gaining experience in a number of Tata Group businesses before being named director in charge of one of them, the National Radio and Electronics Company in 1971. He became chairman of Tata Industries a decade later and in 1991 took over as the chairman of the Tata Group from his uncle J.R.D. Tata, who had been in charge for more than half a century. This was the year when India opened its economy and Tata soon turned the group, which began as a small textile and trading firm in 1868, into a global powerhouse with operations stretching from salt to steel, cars to software, power plants and airlines. Ratan Tata was the chairman of Tata Sons, the group's main holding company for more than 2 decades, during which the conglomerate aggressively sought to expand. Along with being one of India's most successful but the benefactor is no more.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university in the recently released Education World Rankings. A testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked standards in education.
1 करोड़ बनाने के लिए कितनी SIP करनी होगी? This is one of the most searched questions related to personal finance in India. Yet, many of us still struggle to find the exact answer to this question. To know exactly how much you need to save to build a corpus of 1 crore rupees, watch this video to the end. SIPs are one of the most effective tools for building wealth over time, especially in a country like India, which is witnessing tremendous GDP growth at a time when other countries are fearing recession. It's like scoring 90% marks when the rest of your class is struggling to even pass. But just being in India and having a desire to create wealth isn't enough. There are few things you need to get right when planning and investing for your SIPs. Otherwise, even after years of disciplined saving, you might end up short of your financial goals. So, the first thing, how much should your SIP amount be? Well, there are two ways to look at this. How much can you spare every month? And what is your target amount or goal? Let's understand both approaches. Let's say you save only 2,500 rupees per month for the next 20 years. Assuming a return of 12%, you will turn your 6 lakh rupees into approximately 25 lakh rupees. If 25 lakh is enough for your financial goal, great. But if not, let's move to the second approach, goal-based planning. In this, you first decide how much corpus you want to build and in what time frame. So if you want 1 crore in next 20 years, assuming the same 12% annual return, you will see that your SIP should be around 10,000 per month. Now, the first approach is more flexible, while the second is more rigid, where you must save a specific amount. Nothing less than that would work. Now it's up to you to choose which one fits better with your financial goals. But here's the twist. Knowing the SIP amount from these approaches is not enough to make your first 1 crore, as it doesn't consider the impact of inflation, which eats away most of your returns. Even if you manage to accumulate 1 crore rupees after 20 years with a SIP of 10,000, you will still regret it, because with an inflation rate of 6%, 1 crore after 20 years will be worthy only around 32 lakh rupees today. So, how do you combat this? You can use step-up SIP, where you increase your SIP amount by a fixed percentage every year. For instance, if you start with 10,000 and increase it by 10% every year, your SIP will rise to 11,000 in the second year, 12,100 in the third year, and so on. Initially, the rise may not look like it, but over 20 years, it will make a massive difference and give you the same value of 1 crore that you are getting today. So, if you have been relying on standard SIP projections, it's the time to rethink your strategy. Step-up SIPs can help you stay ahead of inflation and achieve your financial goals more realistically. So, now think, what is your financial goal? If you have any queries, any questions related to your wallet, write to us. You will get all your answers right here on Republic Money.
Chose qui est de l'ordre de 30 jusqu'à 50 ans, qu'on n'a pas eu ces types c'est-à-dire de pluie assez forte en un laps de temps assez réduit. Il faut dire que même la géographie de la région, puisqu'on est à les versants est de l'Atlas, il y a une c'est comme si les pluies a été toutes orientées vers les mêmes régions. même un lac qui a été séché depuis 50 ans, qu'on appelle le lac Iriki. C'est entre les régions de Zagora et Tata qui a pu naître. Donc, dans les images SAT, la NASA a même vu qu'il y a une grande zone d'étendue d'eau sur certaines régions. Donc c'est des anciens lacs désertiques qui vont renaître. Il y aura plus d'évaporation, il y aura plus d'humidité dans l'air. Et cette air,
Welcome back. We stay with our ode to Ratan Tata. Once the pride of Indian aviation under JRD Tata, Air India faced turbulence in recent years, only to be revived by Tata Group. As we remember Ratan Tata, who passed away at the age of 86, we tell you how his enduring vision brought the Maharaja back to its rightful place in the skies.
The story of Air India is deeply intertwined with the legacy of JRD Tata, the pioneer of Indian aviation. From its inception in 1932, when it flew as Tata Airlines, to its transformation into Air India in 1946, JRD's vision soared through the skies. But as the decades passed, Air India began to struggle. Debt mounted, losses surged, and the pride of Indian aviation faced turbulence. Calls for privatization grew louder, and it seemed that the Maharaja's days of glory were far behind. In a historic move, decades after JRD's pioneering spirit took flight, the Tata Group under Ratan Tata took back control of Air India in 2022, reviving hopes of restoring the airline's lost charm. 100% stake was acquired by Tata Sons, bringing the Maharaja back home. With Ratan Tata at the helm, the airline embarked on an ambitious revival plan. Modernization of fleets, improved customer experience, and the rekindling of brand loyalty were all on the agenda. The move was seen not just as a business decision, but as a sentimental journey, a homecoming of India's most iconic brand. But as the Tata Group began to steer Air India back on course, Ratan Tata's health began to decline. On this solemn day, at the age of 86, India bid farewell to the legendary industrialist. His departure marked the end of an era. But his vision and legacy lives on. The new Air India stands today as a testament to his unwavering commitment to Indian industry. Ratan Tata's dream of a proud, independent Indian airline continues to soar. A legacy that, like Air India, will live on beyond life.
The Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee unanimously decided to keep the repo rate unchanged at 6.5% for the 10th consecutive meeting in a bid to keep inflation in check. Here are 6 key takeaways from the latest MPC meeting for you. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das announced that inflation is projected to be around 4.5% for the financial year 2025. That's a drop from last year's 5.4%, which is definitely a sign of optimism. Das metaphorically also said that the inflation horse has been brought to the stable within the tolerance band. What this means is that we need to be careful and not let it get out of control, especially considering the current geopolitical volatility. The RBI also shifted its policy stance to neutral. What does that mean? Well, it's all about balancing inflation control with economic growth. And let's face it, there are plenty of global risks that could impact food inflation. So they're maintaining a rather cautious stance. Now, onto the growth front, India's real GDP grew by 6.7% in the first quarter, thanks to a revival in the private consumption. Plus, indicators show strong performance in manufacturing and services, so things are looking fairly bright on that end as well. And here's something that will make borrowers happy and also protect the interest of consumers. The RBI announced that the banks and the non-banking finance companies, that's your NBFCs, can't charge foreclosure or prepayment penalties on floating rate loans issued